Here's an example of a terrific technique used in a very high stakes presentation. Here's the setting. Intuit co-founder Scott Cook is doing the IPO roadshow. They're ready to launch an initial public offering, hoping to sell millions of shares in the company to institutional investors and raise tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, Intuit is the same company that makes QuickBooks and TurboTax, as well as other software programs. A very large and successful company today. But at that time, they were trying to go public and really grow the company. He stepped in front of his audience of institutional investors, and he started with two questions. He asked, how many of you balance your checkbook every month? Well, every hand in the audience went up. Now, remember, these are the days before we had these fintech apps that allowed you to basically bypass balancing checkbooks or making an automated process. So people actually had to pen and paper balance their checkbooks. And that was not all that long ago, actually. So every hand in the room goes up. He then asks this follow-up question. How many of you like balancing your checkbook? Well, of course, no hands went up. Nobody likes balancing the checkbook. The question set up his next statement, which was this. We have developed a software program that makes balancing your checkbook as easy and simple as 1, 2, 3. Immediately, the investors in the room knew at least two things. Number one, if the software lived up to its promise, it would solve a problem. And number two, the market for the software program was gigantic. Basically, every person in the world who had a checking account. There was immediate interest. The IPO was wildly successful, and of course Intuit is a wildly successful company to this day. Now, if instead Scott Cook had gone into a technical or boring description of his product, the audience would have been bored. They would have basically gone to sleep. They would not have really understood what that product was going to accomplish. Instead, he focused on the core problem the product solved in the form of a couple opening questions. And in addition to that, he made it personal so that the audience understood it perfectly. Anytime we present, we want to get off to a good start. If we're trying to persuade an audience, we want to make sure they understand in very clear terms what it is that we have to offer or to sell. This is my console. I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. As always, thank you for listening, and best of luck with your future presentations, whether high stakes or not.